The custom mechanical keyboard community has been growing exponentially since I joined 2 years ago, with new boards, switches and keycaps coming out all the time. If we rewind, one of the big hitters at the time of my arrival was this, the Drop Alt, known to bridge the gap between gaming and custom mechanical keyboards with some of its unique features. Is it still relevant and worth its steep price tag here in 2021? Let's go and find out. The Drop Alt comes in a simple brown box. You get the Drop Alt itself. First impressions are it's sturdy, heavy and kinda old looking with those grey keycaps, but not too bad. The accessories underneath include a USB Type-C cable, a switch puller, because this keyboard is hot swappable, and a keycap puller. The USB-C cable is not great, with a sticky kind of plastic coating instead of braiding. Also no coil. I'm not a fan of the key switch puller that is provided either. When I used it to remove all the switches in the board, it was hard to use and it made my fingers sore. This style of key switch puller is also known to scratch the case, and my case is heavily scratched, so I recommend buying a different one if you're going to be changing the switches on a regular basis. The keycap puller on the other hand is a really high quality metal wire style puller, so no scratching your keycaps, and it can be unscrewed to reveal a screwdriver that fits perfectly into the bottom of the drop when you're dismantling it. This keyboard feels premium, but I would have loved some more high quality accessories for this price point. So the Drop Alt high profile version comes in at 1,276 grams or 2.8 pounds. That is heavy, so don't expect it to slip and slide on your desk during a sweaty gaming session. On the top, it's got a thick, stealthy appearance with high bezels to cover the switches. The corners are also heavily rounded, which doesn't look bad, but I would have preferred thinner, more square ones. Additionally, it has this little wedge going into the keyboard on the bottom right. I don't know why it's there, but I like the look of it. Along the bottom, you'll find 5 big feet which do a great job to keep the keyboard stable on your desk. You'll see 7 screws that can be removed when disassembling the keyboard, and there's a big and obvious drop logo in white and some manufacturing details beneath. On the side, there's a clear piece of acrylic that's been sandwiched between 2 pieces of aluminum, which is nice and thick, so it allows for really good RGB pass-through. I was a massive fan of RGB when purchasing this keyboard, so this was a huge selling point for me. The RGB gets really bright and spills out onto the table, making it look like an underglow. Also on the side, it has 2 USB Type-C inputs, one on either side, which is very convenient if you like to experiment with the position of the keyboard on your desk. This keyboard consists of 4 main pieces, 2 pieces of aluminum housing the PCB and the acrylic layer. The top housing does serve as a plate too, as the drop features an integrated plate design. The integrated plate design is not looked too kindly upon in the custom mechanical keyboard community due to its lack of flexibility, causing a hollow sound. And Drop's range of mechanical keyboards are renowned for their hollowness due to their sturdy nature. This keyboard comes with a flurry of different switches. I got mine with the Halo Clears, and with the PCB being hot swappable, it's really easy to pull them out and replace them with another set. This means you can quickly and easily change out the switches if you don't like the ones that your Drop keyboard comes with, or if you just want to experiment. However, keep in mind that they do only support 3-pin switches, so if you've got a 5-pin switch, you will have to permanently clip off 2 of the pins for them to be supported. To put it simply, the stabilizers in this keyboard are really bad. They could do with either a replacement or a really heavy lube job. They do get better after a heavy lube job and some band-aiding, but they're not perfect. As I briefly mentioned previously, the RGB on this is magnificent and it gets really bright with individual switch lighting. This can be controlled by the software on Drop's website and can be integrated onto the board using some simple commands with QMK. Yes, it is more difficult, but it doesn't mean you have to download some buggy bloatware onto your PC just to change the colours of some lights on your keyboard. The keycaps this alt keyboard comes with are thick, double shot PBT keycaps that are slightly rough to the touch, and they allow for great RGB shine through. Although they're premium, I'm not a fan of the colour because it's dull and boring. I would have much preferred a solid black, maybe even a solid white, but I'm not a great fan of the grey. Be aware, due to the proprietary shift key on the right hand side, it's very difficult to find different keycaps that support this keyboard. You can find some where you can change the majority of the keycaps, but that shift key and those keys on the right hand side are going to be very difficult to replace. The issues I've encountered with this keyboard have been plentiful, unfortunately. First and foremost, it took really long to deliver. Drop do these timed windows in which you have to order the product you want, and they generally ship a month after, and it should arrive within a month of the shipping date, for the UK that is. However, mine ended up arriving 4 months after the shipping date. This was because the first one I got was lost in shipping, and that was not a pleasant experience. Secondly, the accessories for this keyboard are cheap feeling for a board of this price point. I understand that this is just a tip of the custom keyboard community, but for a lot of people this is a big investment and they expect it to be provided with some sort of class, me being one of them. The stock stabilizers are also terrible and either need heavy work or replacing, which again is not acceptable for this price point. Finally, I've been referencing it this entire video, but this board is not cheap. The bare bones of the drop high profile comes in at $190, with the full pre-built keyboard being a whopping $230, which means you've really got to love this thing to want to go out and purchase it. Aside from the issues I've had with this keyboard, my overall experience has been largely positive, so yes, I would recommend this to people in 2021. This is for those who have the money and like the idea of a custom keyboard, but diving headfirst into that community is quite daunting to them. It allows you to experiment with the switches due to that incredible hot swappable PCB, and it's compatible for both Windows and Mac users due to its minimal yet professional look. The versatility of this board is unmatched, which is why I believe it's still so popular here in 2021, and which is why I still recommend it. Right, that's all from me, guys. Like if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and let me know what I can improve in the comments below. See you next time.